Hello everyone and welcome to EduSearch Clinics. I am Dr. Gunjan Desai and today we are going to start a very important discussion on this topic which has been very hot favorite in the recent times, and that is artificial intelligence. Now, being doctors or being into specific professions, a lot of us feel that artificial intelligence does not relate to us, right? But we have to understand that this is a human creation and this is going to affect almost all the fields that human beings work in. Okay. So, if you want to understand how artificial intelligence is going to shape the future of healthcare or in your own industry, you need to understand what is intelligence and then decipher what is artificial in intelligence. So, in this video and in this series, we are going to discuss some relevant topics on how artificial intelligence has developed and apply the concepts of artificial intelligence to various industries as we see in today's practice. Okay. So in this series, we are going to first define what intelligence is, because if we say AI, artificial intelligence, we should first know what is intelligence. The second important point is why we need intelligence, whether it's human or artificial. And the answer to this lies in evolution, not only for human beings, but for all the species that are living on Earth. There is a timeline to understand intelligence and the various types of intelligence. So we will see this timeline and we will see how different people have tried to define intelligence in different ways, and this is going to help us in understanding the need as well as the meaning of the term artificial in intelligence. So, if you feel that you are not aware of what artificial intelligence is, mostly you are wrong, because some of these are definitely there in your life, whether it's a fingerprint lock of your mobile, whether it's Alexa or Siri, whether Netflix is giving you recommendations of what you want to watch based on your history of previous viewing on Netflix, whether Google is helping you translate from English to Gujarati or Gujarati to English or any language, whether you are using face recognition on your devices and so on and so forth. All this is basically artificial intelligence driven. So if you are thinking that you are not using artificial intelligence, it has already become a very important and now essential part of our lives to a great extent. So then when we come to intelligence and understanding intelligence, the most recent definition is by the American Psychological Association in 2022. And it defines intelligence as ability to derive information. And there are three or four important words that you have to remember when you want to understand intelligence. And I remember it with the mnemonic CLAP, CLAP. Okay. C is for create. So unless you are creating something in your life, intelligence is going waste, right? The very important point that all the psychologists or all the people who study mind know that this is a creative tool. And if the creativity of that mind is not put into use, the people start developing problems in their functioning. So creativity is a part of intelligence. Important second part is learning from experience, and that is what has driven evolution. If a rat saw that a cat will eat it, it will run away from the cat, right? The fight and flight response that we know is triggered by some experiences, and that is learning from experience. Okay. Adaptation to the environment. So CLAP, adaptation to the environment based on the different conditions that you see at your workplace or at your house or wherever you go in groups, you will adapt yourself to it, right? If you go to a place like a church or a temple where there are bowls of silence, you're not going to shout there. Vis-a-vis, if you go to a new country and you see some specific ways that the people greet each other, you will try to blend into that environment to your best possible extent. And that is basically adaptation. We are great at adapting, right? Even in the most adverse scenarios, we try to adapt. So creativity, learning, adaptation, and practicality, that is thought and reason. You will try to understand why something is the way it is, why something needs to be the way it is, using thought and reasoning. So if you have clap, okay, an ability to derive information, basically that is intelligence. Now, when we see different scenarios across species, it's not unique to humans. So there is also something known as animal natural intelligence. For example, a rabbit knows that carrot is for eating. That is again a part of intelligence. Okay. Elephants living in a group or animals living in a group, they know that if they are in group, they are safe. So something that they have learned from experience. In jungles, they will try to move together, again, learning from experience and adaptation to environment. So animals also have natural intelligence, and that is ANI versus HNI, that is human natural intelligence. So how does animal natural intelligence differ from human natural intelligence? A very nice topic on its own. So when we come to the different theories or the types of intelligence, and these are important across evolution, you can see in this slide how we have evolved from nature, but the important different intelligences that were identified also highlight how we have evolved. So in the past species, social intelligence probably evolved first, and the reason was that it was a very primitive type of intelligence where the use of intelligence was survival, right? Navigating social situations, maintaining hierarchies, giving respect to power, social dynamics, emotional capabilities, and adaptation to different social contexts, respecting seniors, okay, ordering juniors, living in groups, living in groups with similar characteristics, fearing from certain groups, not fearing from certain groups. All these are parts of social intelligence as studied by Edward Thorndike in 1920. Probably a very early theory of intelligence, that it is social intelligence. The next one, and the one that gave a lot of description about the intelligence as we see it even in recent definitions, is that intelligence is presence of primary mental abilities. This was given by Louis Thurston in 1938, and this included around 7 points that meant that if all these points are present, a person is intelligent. This included verbal comprehension, fluency of words, arithmetic, spatial visualization, which is basically the associate sensory cortex. So looking at verbal, you are looking at spatial, you are looking at memory, forming associations. Oh, this is something that I've seen in the past, associative memory. Then reasoning in a way that you can generalize a specific observation, which is known as inductive reasoning. Okay. And perceptual speed, that quickness in recognizing similarities or differences among visual stimuli. So if you see, compare and contrast two images, that is perceptual speed. Okay. Inductive reasoning is to deduct something generalized from a specific observation. So all these are very routinely seen qualities in most of the people that you meet, and that is why they are all naturally intelligent as given by this theory. After this, in 1963, Raymond Cattell gave a very important theory which had only two parts, that is, crystallized intelligence and fluid intelligence. And this is something that also helps us in understanding what is artificial intelligence, because most of it is currently utilizing crystallized intelligence. What that means is it uses learned knowledge and experience to solve problems. Okay. So something that has happened in the past, something that has been told to you, you learn from it, you store it, you use it in future. That is crystallized intelligence. However, suppose you are put in a completely new situation, you don't have any prior knowledge of this situation, but you can still use clap to adapt to this situation. That is known as fluid intelligence. As of now, a lot of the machines or the artificial intelligence equipment don't have fluid intelligence, and that is something that is very important to understand. So Cattell's theory of intelligence was fluid versus crystallized intelligence. Coming to Gardner's theory, which came in 1983, again, you can see that most of the points are same. He called it the theories of multiple intelligences, but basically this used social intelligence, this used the verbal, spatial, and the visual intelligence, and this used emotional, musical, and bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So basically, all the previous intelligences have been combined in the theories of multiple intelligences by Howard Gardner, 1983. After this, we come to two important theories, and these are the theories that are actually even being followed today. And one of them is the triarchic theory of intelligence, which was given by Robert Sternberg in 1985. ACP is how you can remember it. Easy to remember is the crystallized and the fluid theory of Cattell is partly the triarchic theory of intelligence of Robert Sternberg. Crystallized, as we saw in the previous slide, is using previous knowledge to solve current problems, is analytical intelligence, whereas creative intelligence is fluid intelligence. That is, you have not seen this problem before, you don't have knowledge of this problem, but you can still solve this problem. So that is creative intelligence. And the last is practical or social intelligence, that is adaptability and change management based on the various scenarios. So analytical, creative, practical, ACP is how you remember triarchic theory of intelligence given by Robert Sternberg in 1985. As we all know, Daniel Goleman, very famous book on emotional intelligence in 1995. It has 5 components, and these include components that help you deal with society as well as your own persona. Okay. Understanding yourself, understanding your peers, understanding your society. So if you see, this 1995 theory is more or less synonymous with the first theory of intelligence, that is social intelligence. Social skills, empathy, motivation. These points directly fall into that theory, but this also includes an awareness of yourself. So, self awareness and self regulation. So, there are 5 key points in Daniel Goleman's theory of emotional intelligence. So, as you can see, across evolution, more or less the concepts have been same. You need to understand the society, you need to understand your peers, you need to have social interactions. Hierarchy is maintained, creativity, analytics, and practical or social intelligence, all of them are important when it comes to a person being called naturally intelligent. So when we summarize this entire concept, natural intelligence occurs naturally, right? Through biological processes. Which are these processes? It is evolution, learning, and adaptation. It is a result of natural neural modulation, which can function in a wide range of environments without direct programming. Understand that natural intelligence has not been designed by anyone, right? It is a result of natural neural modulation. Something was seen by our ancestors, which has been incorporated into the neural modulation and which has been carried across generations, right? So, from single cell theory to multicellular organisms, the evolution has played a role in naturally modulating neural activity based on the various environments that were present without any direct programming, right? No one has come and modulated the neurons by touching them or by stimulating them or by using them in any way. It has been naturally done without any direct programming, inherently organic or as a product of natural processes. And that is why this is natural intelligence, ANI or HNI, animal natural intelligence or human natural intelligence. So once you understand this, then we can start understanding artificial, the term in intelligence. And the first important point is that it is the result of using natural intelligence, right? It is man-made. It was not there. It has been created. A part of natural intelligence has created artificial intelligence. So it is a result of designing, programming, and algorithms, right? So it has been designed and programmed, which is not there in natural intelligence. Understand that AI often replicates some aspects of natural intelligence. So there is an AI which can play chess. It will only play chess. So it's not going to do something else. There, if there is an artificial intelligence model which works on language processing, it will only work on language. It will not start driving cars, right? So as of now, AI can replicate only some aspects of natural intelligence, and this happens as a result of designing, programming. What is AI in a nutshell? It's an algorithm. Okay. So it's an algorithm which has been created by giving it inputs, outputs, how to react, by training it using different learning models that we will see in the upcoming series. But these algorithms are basically artificial intelligence. The software and the hardware that is used, data processing and the programming for specific tasks are all parts for developing artificial intelligence. Basically, why was it developed? Because currently a lot of people feel threatened by artificial intelligence, that this may be the last big invention of humans and AI may take over humans. All these theories are going on. Ethics are going for a toss because currently you don't have clear-cut ethics for using AI. But you can understand that these things were created to do things that we personally found difficult, or things that were very monotonous, or things that lacked creativity, and something that we found difficult. AI can make it easy because it will not get tired with repetitive actions, right? Even if you put an AI on a conveyor belt for 36 to 48 hours, it will keep doing the sorting out work that it is supposed to do. So it can do the things that we find difficult. However, understand that even today, an AI cannot do a lot of things that we think are easy. Say, for example, filling a dishwasher. Can an AI fill a dishwasher properly? The answer is no, even today, right? So, AI does not have a lot of components of natural intelligence, okay? And that is why AI is not in its current form going to replace natural intelligence. The necessary point being that we preserve natural intelligence. So when AI is doing repetitive work, it should give human beings time to do creative work. Okay. If we are not doing that, then we are also becoming artificially intelligent. So, how to define AI to conclude this talk? Artificial intelligence is a human created science focused on creating systems and machines that can perform tasks typically requiring human intelligence, and it often simulates human intelligence. So, if this was the first slide, I am sure you would not have understood the terms. If you are not from the field that can easily understand technology, AI is basically something that humans have created. What is it? It's an algorithm. It can be a system. It can be a machine. It performs tasks that usually we found difficult or boring, and that is why we created it. And it often simulates human intelligence. The task can include learning from experience, recognizing patterns. Say, facial recognition is basically based on recognizing patterns. Learning from experience, a robot can play chess, can play games. Understanding natural language, we know we have speech to text, text to speech softwares work on understanding natural language, solving problems, and making decisions. So you have decision analysis, you have ChatGPT like models which can help you in deducting some things, but that is completely based on the data that it has been fed, right? So this is what AI actually is. So in the next part, we will go into the very simplified basics of what is AI. We will understand learning and why learning is important, and especially when it comes to intelligence, developing human intelligence or artificial intelligence, why is learning important? So we will look into that. We will classify AI into types or subtypes, and we will also see that AI can help human beings because it has been created to help, provided that we understand the difference between AI and NI and we apply natural intelligence to use artificial intelligence properly and ethically. Thank you.